Hello everyone and welcome again to Massey United Insurance's Line and Length. It's a cricket program where we look at the sport not only in the region but internationally as well. I'm Barry Wilkinson. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, coming up on today's show, it might be a little painful to watch, but as promised, we are going to review that very first test match with the West Indies and Australia in Hobart. We have highlights of Darren Bravo's century and also that 94 made by Kraigg Brathwaite, but not before we see a double century made by Adam Voges and, of course, Marsh's century as well. But the West Indies, trying to rebound, will be playing in the second test on Boxing Day. However, in the first part of today's show, we look back at that first test and some highlights when we come back on Massey United Insurance's Line and Length.
Across the Caribbean, more people are placing their trust in Massey United Insurance for the protection of the things that are important to them, their homes, businesses, and their prized possessions. That's because Massey United Insurance offers excellent general insurance coverage to help you manage whatever life sends your way. Our cadre of well-reputed agencies and trained insurance professionals are always ready to provide you with sound advice and prompt service. Choose the security and sound strength that is Massey United Insurance.
That's full and through the covers. Nicely played. We'll see how quick this outfield is. Yeah, kept moving nicely. So a boundary to start. That's nicely played. He rocked back Joe Burns and pummels it to the boundary rope. Beautiful stroke. Oh, that's glorious. Therefore building up pressure. Again, it deserves to go. It's a half volley outside off stump.
Warner already almost carried to the keeper's left hand.
Gee, that's getting good work out. That turf over there carrying the ball along nicely. Ian. Oh, what a stroke. He's hammered it.
That's well placed. Warner's gone to the right hand of mid-off about 10 minutes ago. Now the left hand of mid-off. Yes, it caught the sort of cup on the edge of the fingers. And that is 4 more. 12 come from 3 balls. Would be the one more likely to bowl into the breeze, you'd think, but he bowled with it. Oh, there's a good stroke. Way square of the wicket. Joe Burns is so strong. There is no chasing that.
Beautifully against the Australians and knocked a few of them over. Yep. Oh, that could race away as well. There was nothing wrong with that. That was a good delivery. That's just the way things are going when the momentum and everything. Australia none for 75 off 10.5. They just haven't bowled very well at all.
Bowled him! What a good delivery that is. And crucial for the morale of the men in maroon.
That's a quality over, Shannon Gabriel. We haven't seen many of them in the 11 to date, but that was a good over. The only boundary was a thick outside edge. He bowled really good line and length.
But I think if you're trying to trim a bit off the back of the bat, it's going to be marginal.
Oh, beautiful shot. He's away, Steve Smith, through extra cover.
We're coming regularly.
That'll be 50. And that's a real close run. Steve Smith had to dive at the end for the crease, and I'm not sure he would have got there. But it's 50 for Dave Warner.
But he's shown control and temperament. Oh, well done. Lovely cricket. Steve Smith. And Warwican has a very important test match wicket.
Ah, what a delivery. It was nice to have the opportunity. I was very thankful and grateful for the opportunity to write a piece for Richie in his book. That could probably go all the way, that from David Warner. I've seen one of the big quicks have a go. Oh, now. What's there? Got him.
Well, that is a huge moment there, just short of lunch. It's not a great delivery, to be fair, but it's found the edge of Dave Warner's bat. And what a wicket. And he's got the 2 big wickets. Has Warwican, Smith, and now Warner.
Good take. came straight off the face of the bat there of David Warner. Oh, hasn't Warwick had a good morning? The two big ones, Smith and Warner.
That up. Down comes Voges. That's a better strike. Got every bit of that.
That's
What you get with aggression. Dragged down by the off spinner, and that's a much easier ball to hit for 4. That's a good over for Adam Voges. 4 boundaries. The final 3 really, really good cricket shots. So
offside field. No, I won't be at all pleased with that. Oh, that's well done. Just sort of dropped the full face of the blade on the ball. Abbott. Abbott would have to improve his batting. Lovely late cut. Oh, that'll be worth the replay to see the rolling of those.
Side of concept, and I sometimes wonder what they learn if they get beaten.
What a good 50. An innings of great common sense and no little confidence. Well played, Adam Voges.
Around 60, 65,000. It's just become a bit of tradition now. Oh, bottom edge. Too much width again from Jerome Taylor.
Too tightly with that strong bottom hand.
There's his on drive. Don't bowl there. That's great.
That replay, you think that's a straight drive, the way he plays that. The hands were pushing straight back to the line of the ball. Like that. That's a straighter drive. It's just on the onside. You need to contrast those two, actually.
Oh, good shot. He's found the gap as well. Sometimes he's hit the man square of the wicket.
On debut, Sean Marsh made a 60 in one of the tests. Oh, he's lovely through there. Times him so nicely through there. Bit of Mark Waugh in that. And he's back in now, and he's back in form too. And he is a lovely player to watch when he's in form. Oh, placement from Sean Marsh. Oh, he's going to get a single. No, look for 2. Now, what will Sean Marsh... He's coming back. Coming back for the 100. He hits the stumps. No, he doesn't. That'll be 100 for Adam Voges. Right on the tee break. His mate Sean Marsh has run hard for him.
sensational.
Oh, well hit. Right in the gap between the deep mid-wicket and deep backward square. Get themselves out. And we've said that both these batsmen have still got plenty to play for. Though just hitting the boundary regularly, as he does there. Once again, he's worked that nicely, Sean Marsh. Picked out a gap. That's been the key to this partnership. The bowling hasn't been great, to be fair.
Across the Caribbean, more people are placing their trust in Massey United Insurance for the protection of the things that are important to them, their homes, businesses, and their prized possessions. That's because Massey United Insurance offers excellent general insurance coverage to help you manage whatever life sends your way. Our cadre of well-reputed agencies and trained insurance professionals are always ready to provide you with sound advice and prompt service. Choose the security and sound strength that is Massey United Insurance.
So as the cricket continued, the West Indies, they also had to bat. Bravo, yes, he batted well. So too did Kraigg Brathwaite. But the West Indies didn't fare that well. Let's have a look.
An outstanding performance.
Yeah, Josh Hazlewood, 4 for 45. He's had an excellent 2015. 48 wickets now in the calendar year, averaging about 22 with the ball. Excellent year. Interesting. Darren Bravo. I would be tempted to say, mate,
And then one that just skips into the inside edge onto the pad. And he fires up at the pad, and it's a brilliant shot down the ground. Just waited for it. He was ready, having missed the one before, and picks up 4 this time. The first of the innings after 15 overs. The bowling performance has been more disciplined and very targeted. There's nothing easy out here for the West Indies. They can play great shots. Look at that go. It's racing away from Pattinson. Bravo goes to double figures. Or slash. Oh, edge. Smith juggles and grabs it.
That's good bowling. After getting one to turn, just throw it out there in the same region, and if it doesn't turn as much, you're likely to catch the outside edge. That's exactly what happened, and a comfortable catch for Steve Smith.
Nicely played. That's very strong off the back foot. So Bravo really looking good.
That's a terrific shot. Anytime off the back foot you can get a cover drive going for 4 is a nice piece of batting.
Just shows you, looking at that eagle eye there, it's missing leg stump by quite a way. It just shows you how often the umpires do get it right. That, up here, that looked really close, and even watch that first replay, you think it's close, and it's missed leg by a fair way. It's not even just clipping them, that's missing by another stump.
Yeah, good stroke. When you get the length right when you play, when you're batting, it determines a lot, doesn't it? Hit on the up, and it gets through the gap, and it'll race away. Some good batting on display here.
Oh, you've sort of muscled that through.
But as mentioned, Bravo Samuels, a big partnership is happening right now. It's only worth 20. We're just starting to witness some good stroke play. Line continues. In the air, it's taken. What a beauty! That is outstanding. And that's his second.
Really good catch. Anytime you take a caught and bowled where it's coming back with interest.
And that'll be 1-2. Nathan Lyon is on fire.
Blackwood just charging hard with his hands. Nothing soft about him at all. Over and over. Oh, inside edge, and that'll go for 4.
Brandon's going for him.
Oh, there it is, knocked him over. Might have stayed down a little. Doesn't matter, it's crashed into the stumps. The West Indies have lost their 5th wicket.
That's good bowling from Hazelwood. Saw him get an LBW early in the innings, bowling at the stumps, and again.
The cricket family, of course, jump on cricket.com.au/ACF. Priority access to tickets. Live coverage. Oh, there's a big blow. Got that nicely down the ground. 1 bounce for 4. Australia's ultimate home for cricket fans joined today for nothing.
And it's been played through the offside. It was in the air, but it was in the gap. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to get his rhythm. That's something the West Indies need. Much pressure goes through that front foot. Amazing. Good stroke. Really good stroke there from Bravo. Getting close to that half century now. That moves him to 48. And the total is 6 for 120.
Oh, and maybe that's helped him as well. The sawdust. Get the pace up this over. That's a good shot. And Bravo brings up a 50. The first for the West Indies in the series.
Really well played too. He's looked like a class player from the moment he strode to the crease, Darren Bravo. In what's been a pretty unconvincing batting performance, he stood out like a beacon.
The distractions of losing your partners has been analysed as well. I guess all he can do is keep making the effort, shore up his end, put as much energy as he possibly can into the partner of the time, and see what they can build, the West Indies. Just got to take forward steps, not regress. The other thing Siddle could be doing is lining up for a big LB shout. He doesn't. He hangs it outside off again and gets hammered. Top shot. Bravo to 54, 131 the Windies.
And this is where James Patterson's got to get it right. But Roach, Taylor, Warwick and to come. We're not sure whether Gabriel's going to bat. Patterson's got a real opportunity here with a tail in now. I mentioned last over he hasn't been as comfortable bowling to Bravo, the left-hander, but he's got to get straight here now. Attack the stumps.
Bunted through a gap left at cover. That's going to go all the way too. That is really good out of the woodworm.
Well, he certainly has improved his batting. A lovely shot there. It's a
high, but a little bit slower. Try to tempt him into something big. They've spread the field on the leg side. It's to the right of screen. He plays a ripper. Square of the wicket on the offside.
Yeah, it's pretty good bowling, that. It's also a very good shot.
Annoying me. Oh, good shot again. So Mitch Marsh trying a few things, and Bravo's having a win.
Been terrific, Darren Bravo. Moved to 61. That's his 10th four.
We used to get fined if we did it, but now everyone in Australia are doing it, that's for sure. That's a good shot. Pitched it up, and Bravo comfortably onto the front foot. Perfect timing. He's hit it back where it came from.
Oh, Nick. Oh, straight through the slips.
Until
went away for 4. That's the over. 6 for 168. And my run away for 4, even though the outfield's got some rain on it. Yep. Deserves a little bit of luck, Bravo. Outside edge, just raced away for 4. He's played well. Shot from Bravo. That's another boundary. That'll be his 16th boundary. Right towards the end of the day. Nick. Oh, it's going to race away for 4.
That. And smashed away for 4. That's good batting. Kemo Roach. He's picking the right one.
Bravo on strike here. Or it goes for 4. Either way, it works.
Oh, yes, well taken. Steve Smith, that's a beauty. It's just what Australia needed and what James Patterson needed. An early wicket, and what a grab by the skipper. That's a nice shot also. He's in the air slightly, but he's punched it beautiful.
Flayed through the offside. Short boundary square. It'll make the boundary road, but that's another classy stroke from Bravo.
During the Summer Series. And this could be one of those.
It's in the air, but it gets through. And it's going to go for 4.
Hit in the first innings. Oh, I like it. Bit of aggression in return.
Luckily caught down the leg side.
Good little flick of the wrist. Gets that over the mid-wicket area. 4 wickets, or probably only 3 actually, needed for the Australians to win the game. And finally, Brathwaite gets the gap and goes to a really well-compiled 50. His second against the Australians, and he stood tall in the face of a pretty difficult situation. Now that will go to the boundary. That reminded me of one of those square drives that Richie Richardson used to play. Back live, and it's slashed by Brathwaite. Through point. Very quickly into the ropes. Oh, same shot. Same result. Well, down he goes again. The call goes out for catch it. It's mid-off. That's under it. And the ball's secure. Now he's on to Mitchell Marsh. There's a late cut. Just a little bit of width. He's taken 8 off 2. Pitched up. Worked onto the leg side. Good test for the outfield. Is it going to get there? Go. Yes. He's 81. But to sit there on 90 and just off 120 in amongst all the trouble is a great thing to see. And now he's got another 4. Hazelwood goes short and just over off stump. It's a cut shot high, up and under for 4.
You want him to get there, don't you? He deserves it.
I think he does. He's showed a lot of courage and he's been very brave.
Oh, he's bowled! Hazelwood's got a beautiful off-cutter right where he needed it. And he's through the defence of Brathwaite. Sympathy for him. He finishes on 94. 94. We thought Darren Bravo stood out like a beacon in the first innings. Finished.
Across the Caribbean, more people are placing their trust in Massey United Insurance for the protection of the things that are important to them, their homes, businesses, and their prized possessions. That's because Massey United Insurance offers excellent general insurance coverage to help you manage whatever life sends your way. Our cadre of well-reputed agencies and trained insurance professionals are always ready to provide you with sound advice and prompt service. Choose the security and sound strength that is Massey United Insurance.
So then the West Indies losing that very first test match, unfortunately, by a massive margin in Hobart. Like I said, the Boxing Day test in Melbourne promises to be much better for the West Indies. We have some fan emails. This first email says, "Dear Barry, wouldn't it have been better to continue with Shivnarine Chanderpaul, who would have been a more stagnant person in that middle order for the West Indies, seeing that they're so inexperienced?" And that's coming from Javid from Grenada. He's also asked me to repeat that interview that we had with Chanderpaul a couple of weeks ago in Guyana, when he spoke so eloquently about what role he was to like to play in West Indies cricket. Javid, I'm going to make your day. Let's go back and have a look at that interview we did with Shiv Chanderpaul. Pleasure to be with one of the most treasured batsmen that Ghana and indeed the West Indies has ever produced, and with Shivnarine Chanderpaul, not looking at all like 41 years old. Shiv, you still look very fit.
Hi Barry, thanks for the compliment. We keep doing a lot of work, even though we preparing for Guyana. All the players, every one of us, we did a lot of training, a lot of preparation, and keep ourselves in order to get ready for the tournament. So yeah, we're pretty much in decent conditions.
You're at the top of the tables, but what's important, Shiv, is that, I don't know if you know this stat, this is the first time in 31 years that Guyana has beaten Barbados in Guyana. How do you feel about that? Because 31 years ago, you were not even playing competitive cricket yet for the national team.
Yeah, we've been following the stats for a couple of days now, and we've been since before the tournament. I mean, before the game start. We thought about it, and we were hoping that this one we could pull through and change that. And it's been a long time in history for us to do it, and we're pretty much happy now that we've gotten it done. And it's been a long time since that have happened, and even before our time.
You didn't score a lot of runs, but your presence in the field must mean a lot to the young players like Johnson and Hittemeyer. How have you been mentoring and working with these young men? Because they certainly must look up to you.
Yeah, we still have a young team, young captain. the way it was going this morning, if they continue the same way, Barbados would have run away with the game. So I had to make some. I said, John, we need to make some changes. We need to do this. We need to shut it down for a little while. Go around the wicket, bowl into the rough, shut it down. The guys are strong, hitting through the offside. We need to take that away and let's see what happens. And they play with them. Don't take the new ball. Keep a new ball. They wanted to take the new ball. I said, no, don't take the new ball. Let's stay with the old ball. Keep plugging away into that rough. Be patient. Be patient. Just wait and it's going to happen.
Shiv, I mean, at your seniority and at your age at 41, you still have a lot to give. You still want to make a massive contribution. Have you not given up on playing again for the West Indies, or is that still fresh in your mind?
Well, I still, playing this level of cricket, and still think I'm capable enough to play any level of cricket. Still think I have a lot to offer, like today and like the games and before. Having somebody who have gone through a lot of situations in games, and you can see it, and you know it. Being there, you're able to give the fellas advice that could help us in winning games. So, whatever I can do to help, I try my best to.
I know the chairman of selectors, Clive Lloyd, was here for the first day he left now, but he was here watching. Have you been in contact telling him, look, I'm still available, Skip, still want to play, India supposed to come next year. Have you been in contact to try and get things going again?
I heard he was around, but I haven't seen him.
Shiv, you look at the fact that regional cricket has reached a professional stage now, but it's not as strong as when you were playing in your heyday. If you had to give a tonic to the West Indies Cricket Board to say, look, if you really want to get this in a much improved state, from your experience, what would you say?
I think it's getting there now. It's getting there. We're playing that doubleheader now. There's more cricket for the younger fellas. They're doing a lot of work. And look at the game today. Barbados came out, even though it's a difficult wicket to bat on. Those guys fight. They fight all the way down to the bottom. They never give up. And that is what you want to see. You want to see fight. You want to see fight all the way down to the bottom. It's not like I heard the other day, Leeward Islands with 24 for 7 and declare. You don't want to do that. You want to play the cricket. That's not what we're here about. We're here to play cricket. We're here to fight all the way to the bottom. And at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen. Barbados came out this evening. You don't know what's going to happen. Lucky for us, we were able to get away with the 40 runs we had to get. And we got a few boundaries, and the guys played aggressively, and we got the runs. But cricket, anything can happen in cricket. Once you stay in the game, something can happen.
There were 3 youngsters in the match that caught my eye. Moti, and then Roston Chase, Shamar Brooks. What are your thoughts and opinions on those 3 cricketers who look well set to shape the future of West Indies cricket?
Well, you have a couple more other guys we could talk about too, like Carter was there and Vishal Singh for our team that scored 100 on the wicket. So, it's a difficult wicket to bat on. The guys, they applied themselves very well. They played well. There's always a ball in the wicket to get you out. And, lucky for them, they were able to survive and try to bat as deep as possible for their team, because that is something you need to do when playing on a wicket like this. You need to bat as deep as possible. And you could see the guys, they were fighting, and they were fighting all the way. And that's something we talked about all the time in our team. We need to bat as deep as possible. And, some of the guys also know at the back of their mind, they're being told by the selectors, WI selectors, that we don't have the caliber player. We don't have the players that making big scores. So this year, the guys are, they're keen and want to go out and make hundreds and show the selectors they can score hundreds also.
Finally, Shiv, what's your routine and your day-to-day life like now? Now you're not exactly playing for the West Indies. What is your normal routine like now to keep yourself so trim?
Well, like I said, we still do a lot of preparation work from Monday to Thursday, busy with the team, training, doing a lot of work, and just practice, training, and get into the gym, do some work, and look after my baby, and that's about it.
So that's it this week then for another edition of Mass United Insurance's Line and Length. Don't forget the Boxing Day test on the 26th, live and exclusive right here on Digicel Sports Max. I'm Barry Wilkinson. Bye-bye for now.